Columbia City High School football player remains in critical condition after getting injured in a Friday night game. Since the injury, we're finding out sports injuries are quite common, as well as the need to tough it out. News Channel 15's Aaron Rodgers spoke to former football players, a parent of players, and a doctor who knows the extent of these injuries all too well. She continues our coverage tonight.
I was told by a doctor who's familiar with the case that Sam Daly suffered an acute head injury, which made a blood clot form on his brain. But there are people around the country, as well as in Fort Wayne, that make it their mission so that this doesn't happen to other players.
You get your bell rung, maybe you fit out a play, but you're all right.
The mentality that's all too common for many student athletes, and one that eventually ended John Burroughs' football career.
You know, maybe 20 minutes later, I took another big one. And I was out. I was unconscious.
He played for Vanderbilt University before suffering one too many concussions, a phenomenon that many, like Jim Kazai, are trying to increase education on.
To get the information out there, so we don't have a situation where a child is put back into play when they shouldn't, and we have a catastrophic injury.
In Fort Wayne, FWCS kids have to take a session about concussion injuries before they start their season. And there is even a law that was put into effect last year in Indiana that requires high schools to give information regarding concussions. And it outlines the process before a student can return to the game, which some say is a step.
A good starting point. I think it needs a lot more teeth.
But some say it's still an issue with players reporting their injuries.
There's definitely pressure felt when you miss practice that you're not going to have a spot when you come back.
It sucks because I've seen guys lose their spot to injury.
And people familiar with these injuries say those thoughts need to change.
I really think that guys kind of forget that you have life after football. And if an injury's serious enough to where it can affect, how you think, it's not worth, risking your life after football.
Take these head injuries very seriously where you only have one life to live.
However, people say a problem with the law is that it misses youth and middle school sports, and it's important for athletes to be aware from a young age. Aaron Rodgers, News Channel 15.